Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Terrible series for the Baltimore Orioles going into St. Louis and facing the Cardinals. The sweepless streak in the regular season is over. Though it was technically over in the postseason last year, but however, regular season, notes and awards and accomplishments are a thing. Some people consider playoffs different. It's over, yeah. They lost all 3 games to the St. Louis Cardinals. Kind of shocking that he couldn't win one game. But, there were times where they pitched like trash. There were times where they hit like trash. Actually, for the most of the series, they hit like trash. And there were times, and there were a few good defensive plays, but at times they fielded like trash. So, you play baseball like trash, you lose. Tough shit. It is annoying. I definitely was yelling a lot at the TV this series. You can see I'm on massinsports.com. Let's get to game 1. Baltimore Orioles 3, St. Louis Cardinals 6. Very weird series. Game 1 kind of went off without a hitch. The rest of the series was lots of weather delays. Maybe not lots of them, but more than I thought would, more than I expected. But apparently for St. Louis, this is like normal kind of weather. Never been. Henderson, 1 hit, 3 RBIs, runs scored, walked once. Rutschman, no hits, walked once. O'Hearn and Westberg both with 1 hit. Santander, Cowser, no hits. Mountcastle pinch hit for Cowser late, also no hits. Austin Hayes, no hits, though he did walk once. Cedric Mullins, no hits, though he did walk once and came around to score. Mateo, no hits, though he did come around to score. St. Louis made a few errors the whole series, but and actually made more errors than the Orioles, except Cardinals made theirs stick. And the Orioles just whatever. Henderson home run. It was a 3-run home run. Mullins and Mateo on in front of him. Mullins stolen base. Kramer got to start in this game. We knew he had a blister. Dean Kramer had a blister on his right middle finger, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's the finger I saw him pecking at? Something. Yeah, I would say pecking at. We knew he had a blister. Do blisters affect you? Well, I guess it depends on the extent of the blister. But in as much as I saw him picking at that blister, I would say it absolutely affected him this day. 4 innings pitched, gave up. Whichever. 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks. Wow. For 4 innings? Yeah, that's not good. I mean, compared to the way he has been pitching and the way that people talk about this St. Louis team, and yeah, I mean, the professional ball players too, they get paid too. They are good enough to be professional ball players. I just wouldn't have expected the series to go like this. I really didn't. But that's probably why they lost. 2 strikeouts. I mean, compared to what we've been seeing from Dean Kramer, that this is bad. It's terrible. To a certain extent, of course, when you found out he had a blister, knowing that you have too many starting pitchers, you could have just put him on a DL, IL, injured list, not disabled list anymore. And then you wouldn't have to designate Mike Baumann for assignment, and then later lose Mike Baumann. I'll get to that later. But you did this. Okay. Suarez gets in 1 inning after Kramer. Kind of odd to waste a long man here. Suarez does go 1 full inning, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Check the timing on this. Here in the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning, right after Suarez's 1 inning pitched, is when they got the 3 runs. So thinking, oh, well, we're kind of getting back in this. Let's put like a Perez in there and an Aiken in there, because that would be better. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why you think that would be better. I mean, it's not like Suarez has never pitched in the 5th or 6th or 7th inning before. He has. He's pitched well in those innings. I am not sure why you take him out that quickly. That doesn't. And for Perez, like if you're going to use Coulomb or Cano, then I think I might understand. But this I don't understand. Because, of course, again, hindsight. Me sitting here, hindsight. What Brandon Hyde was deciding is hindsight. Perez, 1 2/3 of an innings pitch, gives up 2 hits, which isn't terrible, but then, 1 run and 2 walks. That's really the bad part. The walks and the runs. Give up 2 hits all day and 2 innings pitch, that's fine. Don't give the free passes up, man. It's really what did him in. Because then there's nobody on when the guys are getting hits, 2 strikeouts, it's nice, yay. It doesn't matter. You already gave up more runs and put the game further out of reach, which makes the decision of taking Suarez out look really stupid. It looks really stupid. Aiken finishes off the game. Good performance by Aiken. Nice to see. It is nice to see that. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. But too little, too late. And not enough offense. Because apparently only Gunnar Henderson can drive in runs. Annoying. Let's get to game 2. Baltimore Orioles 1, St. Louis Cardinals 3. Henderson, no hits. Rutschman, no hits. O'Hearn, no hits. Westberg, no hits. Kowser, no hits. 1 through 5, no hits. Westberg was the only one that drew a walk. The first 5 batters in your lineup. Wow. Mountcastle, 1 hit. Mullins, no hits. Stowers, a hit and a run scored. Mateo, a hit and an RBI. Wow. Got more hits from the bottom of the lineup than it is the top of the lineup. Maybe start moving some of these guys down to the bottom of the lineup. Apparently they'll do better. Might get more people on for Henderson anyway. Doesn't hurt not having, not that Santander has been hitting that much, but him having that knee problem is kind of an issue. Now, this was a wonky game because when did they stop this game? They stopped this game, it was the 6th inning? How long did Bradish pitch? Bradish pitched 5 innings. Yeah, so they stopped this game in between the bottom and the top, or in between the top and the bottom of the 6th inning. So right here, right before, we gave up 2 runs, which is awesome. Because you see, it was tied 1-1 when they suspended the game. And it hadn't rained yet, but they could see storms coming. And instead of, waiting for it to start raining and the storms are coming, they decided to, which it was a right decision because then it rained the rest of the night and they couldn't play anyway. So it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in my memory, I don't know that I've often seen games get paused, like that, and then be resumed the next day. It's happened before. I know it's happened. It's just, it's still a rarity. Like, it doesn't happen that much, at least for us here in Maryland. Mateo Stowers with double. Nice that Stowers can get some hits. Throw it back in their faces that he hasn't gotten a chance or enough chances in as many years as he's been here. Kyle Bradish got to start in this game. He pitched well. I mean, the sad thing is, because of when they did decide to pause the game, Bradish couldn't come out for his sixth inning, which would have been nice. Now I understand that they were expecting weather, but it hurts us, right? Like if you would have done it before the top of the sixth inning, it would have been even. But your pitcher, the St. Louis Cardinals pitcher, got to throw 6 innings, which means your bullpen only had to throw 3. You can't say that with the Baltimore Orioles, right? So I think that's really what I don't really like about the decision. You should have made the decision at the start of the inning. So essentially, things are even. Because again, St. Louis got 6 innings out of their starting pitcher because they allowed the 6th inning to start. But then decided to stop before the Cardinals would bat in the 6th. Hurting the Orioles because their starting pitcher, who, and I know he gave up a few hits and runs, but Kyle Bradish was kicking their ass. They preemptively stopped before the storm. Okay, sure, it makes sense for safety, but Bradish was kicking your ass. How convenient that you stop it right before the Cardinals are about to bat, but let the Orioles bat in the same inning. That makes it. That cool, whatever. So it was the night game. It was what the hell day is it? The Tuesday night game. And with a 1:00 game scheduled for Wednesday, this game resumed at 12:15. And it started out with Jacob Webb. Didn't give up a hit. He did get 2 outs, which is nice, but then he walked a guy. So it was only 3 batters, and Hyde was, who the hell came up? Gorman, Mr. Gorman here, left-handed hitter. So, of course, Brandon Hyde's like, oh, I want my lefty. Brings in Keegan Aiken because Webb just walked a guy and then 2-run home run. That's why 1 run charged to Webb because he was the guy that he walked this person that scored. And then Aiken gives up a hit and a home run. But again, if you allow Bradish to pitch here, then as far as I'm concerned, he kicks the shit out of the Cardinals lineup and they don't score. But you didn't do that. Okay. Definitely benefited the St. Louis Cardinals there. Because you really should. I mean, you could see the storms coming. You should have stopped it before the 6th inning. You shouldn't have stopped it in the middle of the 6th inning like that. Because we could notice the conditions. The wind was picking up, but you decided to let the Orioles bat in it. But then when it was turn for the Cardinals to bat in it, you said no. Okay, cool. Whole new definition of a home field advantage, I guess. You get to decide when to screw the other players over. Okay, fine. Game 3. And this game actually started at, it was about 1:40, I guess. It was scheduled for 1:35, 1 o'clock, something like that. I said it in the last video, I don't even remember. The schedule just got whole foot turned upside down. Third game here, Baltimore Orioles 4, St. Louis Cardinals 5. Yeah, I mean, it finally decided to put some runs up. It just couldn't hold the lead. Again, Henderson a hit, an RBI, run scored, walked twice. Rutschman 1 hit. O'Hearn a hit, an RBI. Santander a hit, an RBI. You can see Rutschman DH, Santander in right field. He looked a lot better. Definitely doesn't seem to be too hindered by the knee anymore. But I'm not going to say it's fully healed, but he's running much better now. Westberg, no hits. Cowser, 1 hit. Hayes, a hit, a run scored. Arias, a hit and a run scored. Mullins pinch hitting late in the game. It was Mullins and Stowers. Or no, it was Hayes. In the final inning, Hayes and Mullins with back-to-back hits. Can actually no hit, but did score a run. Stowers with Hayes and Mullins on, trying to, get back into this game. Just smacks the ball, line drive to right field. Wasn't a home run, but was it Nootbaar? Yeah, Nootbaar, the right fielder. Didn't really look like he was going to get it, but he did make a well-timed jump right at the perfect moment to catch the ball. And Mullins, like the great baseball player he is, there's no outs. You're on first base. You see this ball hit to right field. Why the hell you're running around second base? Why are you going past second base? There's no outs. Okay? You are the tying run. You cannot make the first out in the inning. Especially, don't go past second base. If the ball gets over his head, you can probably score from second base. Okay? But if he catches it, you know what? You're not going to be able to get back to first in time. And that's what happened. Yeah. So instead of getting a sacrifice fly and maybe with a runner on first, assuming that Mullins couldn't tag up if he had just, stopped at first. Of course, if he stops at second, then he's not tagging up. So we could have had a sacrifice fly by Stowers, Hayes coming in. Actually, Hayes made it to third on Mullins' hit. So Hayes was on third. Could have had a sacrifice fly, and then it's 1 out with a man on first for Henderson. But you like running around the bases because why? I was screaming at that, cussing, and wow. Good thing my neighbors aren't close because they probably would have called the cops. Why are you going past second base on a fly ball like that? Okay, it was a line drive, and it looked like it was going to get over his head. But you don't know this. You don't know that. But you got to think with all your speed, if it does get over his head, you're standing on second base, you can make it home. And even if you don't, even if you just make it to third, then you're on third base with 1 out. You're the tying run. You can't get doubled off. You cannot get doubled off. But you got doubled off. So wonderful base running. And this is the third game. And make matters even worse, no extra base hits by the Orioles. Look at this, errors. McCann throwing, Henderson fielding. How did the St. Louis Cardinals get more runs than the Orioles in the first place? Well, with Arenado on first base, Henderson gets a ball hit to him, and, Henderson giveth and Henderson take away sometimes. Yeah, booted the ball. So instead of a double play, we got 2 men on, and who was it? Donovan. Donovan hits a double. Mullins not starting, so Cowser in center field. Would Mullins have caught the ball? Tough to say because it's not like Cowser's slow, but I do think Mullins would have gotten to the ball quicker than Cowser, or at least sooner. So, it's tough to say, but Ball's coming in because, 2 runners are scoring. Arenado and who else scored? I don't even remember who else scored. Who was on in front of Arenado? Or who was on after Arenado? Carlson? Trying to throw Carlson out at the plate. Not a great throw. McCann has to come up the line to get it. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to throw the ball at third base to get this Donovan guy out. And where does the ball go? Of course, he throws the ball away. Donovan gets a little league home run because he's throwing the ball around the infield. You ran the bases like shit. You fielded like shit. You threw the ball like shit. You hit like shit. You pitched like shit. That's why you got swept. Good God. Terrible. I haven't even talked about the pitching yet. Because guess what? And I'll get to the article later. More bad news. When it rains, it pours. John Means, 3 innings pitched. Yes, 3 innings pitched because they stopped the game again. And no, that's not the only bad news. Only gives up a hit, doesn't give up any runs, does walk 2. But that's not terrible. Though it definitely looked like something was going on with Means' elbow. Yeah. Again, well, I'll get to the article with the official move in a minute. But Means having some elbow issues. Yay. Wonderful. Cole Irvin comes in. Yeah. Wonderful. 3 1/3 innings pitched. Gives up 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. Doesn't walk anybody, which is fine. 2 strikeouts. Again, Henderson doesn't boot that ball and at least gets 1 out, At least get 1 out. Couldn't get any outs. And then, hey, stop throwing the ball around the infield, McCann. Who knows? Suarez comes out to finish the 7th inning, gets the 2 outs. Not using him like a long man, they're using him like a short man, but okay. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Cool. Nick Vespi, who was the 27th man, because technically, it wasn't a doubleheader. I guess it wasn't technically called a doubleheader, but since they did play or finish up 2 games in that day, both teams were allowed to have a 27th man for the originally scheduled game Wednesday. For the Orioles, it was Nick Vespi. Not Heasley or Tate, or how about trying to bring Mike Baumann back? No. Nick Vespi. Okay. However, boss, not the guy I would have chosen, but it's not like he gave up more runs, so I guess it's okay. Vespi 1 inning pitched the 8th inning because the Cardinals didn't have to bat in the 9th. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So I guess he pitched blind. Whatever. Bunch of losers. That's what they are. Let's get to this article written by Rock Kubatko. This was late last night, so late Wednesday night. Headline says it all right there. Acquire Blake Hunt from Mariners, sending Mike Baumann, who was DFA'd, and Michael Perez, a catcher he's not necessarily a young guy. He's mid to late 20s, but he has had some major league experience. As opposed to, letting Baumann go for nothing, they decided to trade him to the Mariners to get something. They got this guy, Blake Hunt, catcher. Bats right, throws right. He's 6'4". Cool. Not sure having catcher that tall is a great thing, but he's 25 years old. Take a look at that's fielding. Let's go with that. Oh, wait, MLB. Let's go. Oh, cool. You got some of the MLB numbers? Nothing. Yeah. He's played a lot of games. I don't know. His offensive numbers look that good. What's it, 2017? He's been in the minors since 2017. He's hit 40 home runs, 220 RBIs. career minor league batting average of 247. That's not that good. But I mean, I guess it's better than getting nothing for him. Of course, we had to give up another catcher, which is weird. Fielding, I mean, I guess it looks okay as a catcher. Here's what I'm kind of looking at over here. The stolen bases versus caught stealing. 333 stolen bases, 115 caught stealing. So what is it, about 1/3? He's thrown out 1/3 of the runners. That's not bad. That's pretty good, right? I mean, you'd always like it to be higher, but some of the pitchers and some of their movements and stuff, I mean, how many of these stolen bases are on the pitchers? I mean, a lot of them. Especially a lot of them for the Orioles recently. It's just pitchers just not holding them on well. Where was pass balls? Pass balls, so 30 pass balls and what, 3,000 innings caught in the minor leagues? That's, what is that, 1 every 100 innings? I mean, that's pretty good, right? So what, 1 every 11 games? You'd rather it be none, but I mean, 1 every 11 games isn't that bad. That's kind of good, right? So he does appear to be a somewhat defensive-oriented catcher. We'll see if there's, McCann throwing the ball around the infield. Like, this guy may be a step up from who they had. Yes. I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully it does kind of improve the catching down there and maybe get help develop it back up, because I don't know how long McCann's going to be around. He is getting older. Come to this next article written by Rock Kabako. Yes, John Means plays on the injured list. So the elbow discomfort or whatever is that bad. Oh no. It says right here, diagnosed with a forearm strain. So maybe not as bad as we may have thought. Who knows? That's assuming it was accurately diagnosed. We'll have to... Oh, wait. Oh, yes. It is the same thing that really held him out from starting the year here. Will Jonathan Heasley recalled, kind of disappointing that maybe they couldn't get, place means on a disabled list and remove the designate for assignment on Mike Baumann. Jesus, think about his name there for a minute. Usually when the moves like that are made, you can't do that. Now, if you're just using options and sending up and sending down, there are rules of how soon you can bring somebody back. That usually you're allowed to forego because of an injury. You throwing people out on, the claims list, and not really, no. Oh, well, disappointing. We turned Mike Baumann in and another catcher into a somewhat younger catcher. Hopefully that works out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Well, it sounds like the starting pitching problem is kind of soft for the moment. Yeah. All right, let's get the schedule, wrap this up, get out of here. I got to get this video out. Well, I got a few hours. All right, so series coming up starting today. 4-game series in Chicago against the Chicago White Sox. Thursday, 7:40 scheduled start time. Friday, scheduled 7:40 as well. Saturday and Sunday, both scheduled for 2:10. Okay. No consistency whatsoever. Oh, shoot. I'm looking at that right there. What? The Monday at 1? Ugh. Okay. All right. So it's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. I'm looking at the schedule here, so I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to have to move it up a day because you can see the Boston series starts Monday at 1 o'clock. At least that's the schedule. So I'm going to have to do the next edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. I don't know that. I mean, that's just really early to get up to be able to even come close to getting the video out in time. Yeah. At least that's a plan anyway. So look for Sunday to be the next edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Probably a little late Sunday night. And I'll talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox. So please like and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.